so we can meet together, alhamdulillah, after we spend the khutbah and the Jumu'ah time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us and give us the blessings of Jumu'ah. And when it comes to Friday night, we used to have that kind of reflection on the topic for the khutbah. And I believe, alhamdulillah, that you still remember the topic for the khutbah. Alhamdulillah, we were talking about the missing ingredient for the satisfaction in our life. And we explained that most of people are under that pressure, and they feel worry and anxiety in their life because of they don't have that fully contentment. They don't have that feeling of satisfaction. And we said the main reason for that, because they are missing one of the elements of the equation to get the satisfaction in this dunya. We are not talking here about the complete happiness, but we are talking about something, it is related to the at least the satisfaction, the inner peace, the contentment. Because as we know, it's a general rule, I believe that, alhamdulillah, each Muslim is full aware of this rule, that we do not have 100% happiness in this life. Because the reality is that this life is so short and it does not have 100% of happiness, because the real happiness in the hereafter. That's why one of the great scholars was asked, when we are good to get the real happiness, he said, when you put your first step into Jannah. That's the real happiness. That's the first time that you will feel the 100% happiness. And imagine, just take it as and we take reflection. That's the mission of the lecture at night. We think together, we discuss together in the matters that concerns all of us. When it comes to the real life, you see, if you got a car and you got happy with the car the first 2-3 days, then after what? What happens? That kind of happiness that showered your heart, it's gone. It's gone. You started to think about another goal, another target to hit. Okay? Even with the car itself, it has lots of responsibilities. You need to fix the car, you need to keep the maintenance, you need to maintain the schedule, you need to have the oil, the gas, you need to keep the engine safe. All of these responsibilities. So that is headache by itself. Even if you get the best of the cars. If you got a nice meal, a nice food, so you are worried about what? About getting rid of that food, from your stomach. Otherwise, if it kept in your stomach, that's a disaster. So even every pleasure in this dunya, it has consequences. And these consequences are, putting you sometimes in troubles. If you got kids, the minute that you get the happiness with that kid has lots of responsibilities, to take care, to spend. If you got married, lots of responsibilities, with the marriage. If you got a new job, you have to maintain the job and keep your skills and get the new courses, get the new updates. That's a headache. So we do not have 100% happiness in this life. That's the case. So at least to get part of the satisfaction, part of contentment. That's why to feel content in your heart, that you are satisfied with your life, you are missing something. It is called Barakah. And we explained the expression of Barakah. I just wanted you to share me the ideas, because I don't want to talk like one-side game. That's why we wanted to interact. So what's your definition for Barakah? What do you think about Barakah? The blessings, okay? And what else? To get the inner peace. Yeah, to be content with to be satisfied with what you have. And we gave the academic definition for the Barakah itself. It is called, let me say it in Arabic. The first one is ثبوت الخير الإلهي في الشيء. The stability of the goodness, of the divine goodness in something. That's why linguistically, I think in order you have barakah, the same word, alhamdulillah. So in from an Arabic perspective, when you say Barakah, comes from Baraka al-Ba'ir. You know Ba'ir? The camel. When the camel stays in one place, when it sits down, that is called Barakah. So if the camel stands up and you wanted the camel to sit down, what is called? Barakah. Barakah means to sit down. Okay, and to stay like sometimes in one place. So that is called Baraka al-Ba'ir. Baraka, stayed, settled, sat down. And if you have a lake that the water is streaming, you know, a lake, you know, the lake, the water stays in the lake. It does not move like the river, like the water stream. So when you have a lake, what is the word lake in Arabic? It is called birka. The same way, how do you write baraka, but just the ba has kasra underneath. So birka and the ra has sukun. So birka, that means a lake in Arabic. So when the water stays in that place, so it is called birka. So Baraka al-Ba'ir, stayed, the camel stayed, and the water stayed means you have kind of stability in something. If you wanted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to preserve and to keep that ni'mah upon you, you know, most of people, they are worried about the stability of the ni'mah. He has a nice job. He wanted the stability. Allah granted him children. He does not want Allah to test him in his children by losing one of them. You know, that is the most difficult test. So you want it, stability. That means you need barakah in your life. You need barakah. You need to get that barakah in your life. So the meaning of barakah is to have the ni'mah settled. And not only this, you are satisfied with that ni'mah. And that's the case. You are satisfied. And one of the instructions that we made today, that when you make dua for yourself, for somebody, don't ask for more, but ask for what? For barakah. For yourself. Just let me ask you roughly, when was the last time you asked for barakah in your dua? Every day. And you know what? We make dua for hours, for each other with the barakah, but we don't know. When we say to ourselves, Barakallahu feek. Barakallahu feek. May Allah bless you. And sometimes we answer by saying Ameen in a reckless way. In a way that, you know, it shows that we do not appreciate. We underestimate the word. And we do not have the value of that dua. May Allah give you barakah. And what's the benefit of barakah? We mentioned this. 3 levels. If the barakah came to the little, it will make it abundance. And if it came to something abundance, it will make it beneficial. So the case is, whatever you have, even if you have something little, Allah will give you barakah in it. And we give the example that if you wanted to leave your children, you are afraid of leaving them and die without securing their life. What's the first key to secure their life? It's to give them deen. Let them have the armor of the deen first, before money. Because they may got your money, and the money will be the way of their destruction. They may lose their deen because of your money. Do you know that? And how many cases that you saw in your life, the kids had inherited the money and they wasted the money, they came back to zero, to step number 1. That's the case. So you wanted barakah in your children. You wanted barakah in your life. How many fights that people had in their houses because there is no barakah. MashaAllah, he has the nicest house. He has good furniture. He, sits down on the couch and MashaAllah, it's very soft. It's very nice. He has the luxury in his life, you know, but yet nobody is laughing in the house. When you enter the house, you feel like it was made as grave. It's part of the graveyard. There is no happiness. Wallahi, sometimes, you know, when I enter some houses, I say there is no soul. There is no good soul in this house. There is no happiness. You feel like it is an old grave. It's decorated very well. But the people inside, they have no barakah. All what they are doing, just acting. He is acting like a happy husband. She is acting like a happy wife. And they had that fake smile on their faces, you know? And the problem is, you feel it, that they did not have barakah. If they had barakah, they wouldn't have that much fight. They keep fighting for money. Who is going to pay that bill? I'm working more than you. No, I paid that last month. That kind of fight. If you have barakah, you will never have these kind of fights. So all of us, wallahi, we don't need more. We need just Allah to preserve what we have and grant us barakah. That's the main concern. So if we didn't get anything except that we will concentrate our dua for the barakah, and you saw when Rasulullah ﷺ made the dua of barakah to Anas, Sayyidina Anas ibn Malik, what happened? He became the richest, and Allah granted him barakah. He lived a very long life. How many offspring that he saw? Up to 100. Up to 100. He saw his children, his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren. And why is that? That's the barakah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah grants you barakah in your health, you will not lose your mind when you grow up. If Allah granted you barakah in your health, you will have that type of ibadah. Allah will guide you to worship Him. You know, because you are sitting in the masjid, and those who are watching us right now on Zoom, whether or in Facebook Live, you have barakah in your life by sitting and listening. That's sort of barakah. If Allah granted you barakah, He will guide you to use your life and your time in something beneficial. That's the barakah. And you know, most of people, subhanallah, now we are Friday. After a very short time, you will find yourself another Friday. I was talking with Imam Yahya today in the morning. I said, could you believe that we have Friday? We just changed it, had the exchange, and I was in Dunedin and you was in Newport Richey. Could you imagine? So the week goes fast like a day, and the day goes fast like 1 hour, and 1 hour moves like 1 minute. That's the case. So there is no barakah in the time. And if you want Allah to give, and when you think about the example, as we mentioned, Imam Abu Hanifa yesterday, right? So what we mentioned, that he used to recite the entire Quran in one night. In one night, in Salah. And he used to pray Fajr with the same wudu of Isha. And in between, he used to recite the entire Quran. Allahu Akbar. So they have the barakah to stand up, to be able to stand up. Could you do that? You know? You can sit down. Yes. Yes, you can sit down. Yeah. And you know what? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam one night stayed to pray, and he stood to pray, and Anas ibn Malik was next to him, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed in one rak'ah, Al-Baqarah Al Imran, An-Nisa. 5 juz of Quran, the 3 major or the longest surahs in the Quran in 1 rak'ah. And you know the narration said, the second rak'ah he recited almost as the first rak'ah. So almost 10 juz in 2 rak'ahs. So how long are those 2 rak'ahs? So and now when if the sheikh or the imam recited 1 full page in your salah, you are thinking when is going to make ruku'. Yeah, after salah, I will talk with him. I will complain, you know. I will leave the salah. You are talking to yourself. He's insane, you know. That's the case. So if we wanted to give barakah, we give 2 keys. What are the 2 keys? Allahu Akbar. Iman and taqwa. Iman, to have the sincere monotheism, the sincere tawheed in your heart. And what is the best definition for taqwa? Do you remember? We explained that long time ago. The definition of Sayyiduna Ali ibn Abi Talib. Sayyiduna Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu anhu had given us the definition. It has 4 elements. And I wish if we had Dr. Rahim, he remembers. So yes, so what's the first one? He said, Al-khawfu min al-jalil is to fear the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you wanted to fulfill taqwa, you wanted to get that fear of the punishment of Allah. That's number 1. And number 2, وَالرِّضَى بِالْقَلِيلِ وَالرِّضَى بِالْقَلِيلِ. I will give you a story. It might shock you, but I saw it by myself. And I swear by Allah that it happened and it is true. And you can convey that story out of me. You can transmit to others because I witnessed. When we talk about rida bil qalil, to be content with everything, even if it was little. And I had a person, he was one of the righteous people. And I'm so proud and honored to mention his story. He was so poor. He was living in, I wouldn't say a house, but very small room on the road. And that man was Hammal. You know Hammal? Hammal used to carry the bags of flowers over his shoulder. And he was so poor. And he used always to remember the word ar-rida. Ar-rida means contentment. Is to be satisfied. And I was talking to somebody, telling him why Hajj Muhsin, brother Muhsin, that's his name, why he's always saying rida. I talked with him. He said, because I lived my life and I have that satisfaction of Allah. I have that satisfaction for what Allah had decided for me. I'm so content. I'm so pleased with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had decided for me. After almost 4 or 5 years, and the man used to come attend Jum'ah in my masjid and other masajid. And one day I got a news that he got blind. He did a surgery, and because of something wrong the doctor has made, he became blind. And we went after 1 week to visit him, to say, you know what, that's the destiny of Allah. And while we are going to him, I remember the word ar-rida. And I was asking myself, does he now have rida after he got blind? It was a test from Allah to him. You always saying your life and you are shouting ar-rida. Ar-rida, I'm content. I'm pleased with Allah. Does he now content? Does he now satisfied? That was my thinking. Till we went to him and we sat down and we said to him, That's the destiny of Allah. We started to remind him of Allah and how to accept the destiny of Allah. And we were like 3 imams and some people guests. And you know what? Before we go, the man cried. And he said, you know me. I'm so pleased with the destiny of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then he put his hand next to a window next to him, or on a window next to him, and he grabbed the copy of Quran and he put it over his eyes. And he said, oh Allah, I'm so pleased with what you decided for me. I didn't want my eyes for anything except to read your words. If you prevented me, that's your decision. I cannot interfere. And we left. Wallahi, on the next day after Fajr, I got a call from one of the people. His name is Mahmoud. He called me. He said, I want you now. I went to him and he drove me again to the same house. And the surprise that the man, Allah restored his eyesight back. And I told him, what happened? He said, I saw the dream. I saw that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam came to me in the dream. And he said to me, do not feel sad. And he handed me the Quran back. When I opened my eyes, I could see. Allahu Akbar. That's a rida. Those hearts are so unique. That's a rida. To be content. Whatever happens in your life, you are satisfied. I told you, what's the most dangerous calamity can happen to you? What's the most dangerous? The calamity when it happens, I will tell you, you have to, huh? If you lost your deen. If the calamity was in your deen, means what? If you have something that it threatens your deen, that's the case. You might lose your money, you lose your job, you lose your house, you might get a sickness. Whatever happens in your life, as long as your deen in a good shape, you are okay. That's why, how did I get that point? From the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He used to make this dua. Allahumma la taj'al musibatana fi dinina. Oh Allah, do not make our calamity in our religion. That's the dua of Rasulullah. Oh Allah, do not test me in my religion. As long as your religion is okay, you are in a good shape, that's it. That's it. It doesn't matter how much money that you have. It doesn't matter what type of food that you ate today. It doesn't matter which house that you are living in. It doesn't matter anything. Anything. My religion is good because basically, essentially, I came to that life for my deen. How long I will stay? 60, 70 years? That's it. It goes very fast. Just roughly, can you please tell me how old are you? Huh? 55. Can you remember all of them in details? Never. If I wanted to tell you, okay, tell me a summary for the 55 years. How long you will take? No, roughly I will say 1 hour. Now you summarized 55 years in 1 hour. And if I told you how it passed, you will tell me, I just married. I just got my babies. And now they grow up and they married and that's the life. That's the life. And I told you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Subhanallah. When Allah gave us the Alhaakum al-Takathur, Hatta Zurtum. Zurtum. You got distracted by having more until you had visited the graveyards. And the scholars said, thousands and hundreds of thousands of years, and yet Allah is considering this as just visit. You visited the graveyards. Oh Allah, what about those people, thousands of years? They are still waiting in the graves. They are waiting for the day of judgment. Allah is calling that it is just a visit. Hundreds of thousands of years, and it is still a visit. So what about our 60, 70 years? Now you got it. So that is short time. Even if Allah tested you, the seekers of the hereafter, they will say, whatever happens in this dunya, whatever I'm missing here, do I miss a bigger house? I will get it in Jannah. Did I miss to get a Mercedes or Lexus or Lamborghini? I will get it in Jannah. Did I miss this type of food? Did I miss that thing? Did I miss a lady is missing to get like gold and nickels and diamond? You know, do I am missing these ones in dunya? Yes, but I'm seeker of the hereafter. I will ask Allah to give it to me in the Jannah. That's how we think. So we do not feel regret that we lost anything. The minute that you, your wife, your children, your family members, the minute any one of them loses his deen, this is the time that you feel regret. That's the real loss. That's the real loss. So the first element of taqwa, to fear the punishment of Allah. What is the second one? To have rida. Rida. To have rida. And number three is to act upon the Quran. وَالْعَمَلُ بِالتَّنْزِيلِ is to act upon the Quran. And number four is to be ready for the day of judgment. Prepare yourself for the time that you are going to die. And when are you going to die? Do you know? Do you know? No. And what is the stereotyping that people have nowadays? That I will die after when I grow up, when I get old, after 80s, after 90. You know, what makes me laugh when you talk with somebody like 70, are you ready to die? He will tell you, not yet. Okay, when he comes to 80s, are you ready to die? Not yet. When he reaches 90s, are you ready to die? Not yet. So now the question is, when will you be ready to die? 90s, and he's not ready. SubhanAllah, no, I'm not ready to die now. I still have time. That's our nature. But we as human beings, we have to, as Muslims, we need to be ready each and every day. That's why Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab, one of his acts before he sleeps, he used to hold himself accountable for each and every action he did all the day. What did I make? Did I miss Salah? Did I read Quran? Did I remember Allah? Did I give a charity? Did I oppress anybody today? Did I say something wrong? Did I slander somebody? You know, he used to count what's the wrong things that I made today. That's the case. Imagine if you slept and you opened your eyes, then you discovered yourself, you are in the hereafter. You slept and your wife next to you and your furniture, your bedroom. And when you closed your eyes, then you opened, I'm in another world. What are you going to do? So at that time, you will feel regret because all my actions came to an end. Stop. I cannot count even one good deed. I cannot count it. A man went to the graveyards, one of the righteous people, and he visited the graves, and next to the graves, the time of Salah came. So he prayed 2 rak'ahs. He prayed Salah. Then next to a wall or a tree next to the grave, he got a nap. And during that time, he saw in his dream that somebody came out of the graves. And he told him, oh man, you had prayed 2 rak'ahs. If Allah had allowed us to pray them, that would be for us better than the entire dunya and what it contains. That's the reality. Because if somebody died, just let him say Allah, let him say Alhamdulillah. He cannot. He cannot. So that's why it is the time now to fill up your record with good deeds. This is what we need. So if you wanted to get barakah, have iman and taqwa for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairan. And I don't want to take too much time tonight because we have our brother Abdul Basit brought some of the tea and the cookies. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him. Allahumma ameen. And we thank our sister for, preparing the stuff for us. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu fikum. And inshallah, just by the way, I wanted to tell you, inshallah, tomorrow we have the Quran competition in Masjid Salam in Dunedin. So inshallah, me and Imam Jalal and Imam Yahya, we will be there. I think we will leave Newport Richey to Dunedin at 2 p.m. Inshallah, we will stay all the day. We will have the final competition, inshallah. Then we will have the celebration and we have the party. So we encourage the young generation, inshallah, for memorizing Quran, and we will hand them gifts, inshallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us. I will not be able to join you here in the Maghrib and the Isha time. I will be there in Masjid Salam in Dunedin, inshallah. But inshallah, Sunday night, we will be here for the Quran recitation. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the chance and give us the time to meet again, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu fikum. And let's make the dua for all the brothers and sisters, to include all of them here, mashallah. And I can see, mashallah, Dr. Rahim is here. We are missing you to give us the answer for the question, mashallah. But I'm sure that you know the answer, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. And we have Dr. Siddiqui, mashallah, I saw him today in the Jumu'ah, may Allah bless him. And also brother Nasruddin and sister Azima. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us. Allahumma ameen. Brother Imtiaz Khan from Orlando, brother Hasib from New York, and we have another sister from Canada, mashallah, and we have people from Egypt, brother Mizan, sister Fifi. We can see also brother sister Ruby Alam, Shaliz ad-Din, mashallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us. Sister Brenda Square from Dunedin, mashallah. So you see, we have the diversity, and Islam gathers us. Islam brings us together, and I cannot forget. Otherwise, she will give me a ticket. So who do you think? My wife, yes. She will give me a ticket if I didn't mention her name. MashaAllah. May Allah bless her. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu fikum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of you barakah. Allahumma ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant your children, your spouses. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wallahi, one of my du'as, I just told Auntie Maryam today, after Jumu'ah, I told her about that du'a. I told her one of my du'as in my salah, oh Allah, if you are going to reward me in this dunya for something good I'm doing, if you are going to give me that reward in my life, in the hereafter, I wanted the reward to be next to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In dunya, oh Allah, I wanted to place barakah and to place that barakah in my children. That's my dua. Always. I don't want anything for myself. If you wanted to reward me for something good I'm doing in this life, put barakah in my children, in my offspring. That's my dua always. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us. Allahumma ameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Barakallahu feekum. Inshallah, see you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.